You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah.
The work is making you sigh. Clearly, Elon Musk has had a rough few days. Tesla dealerships have become the target of protests across the country, and its stock price has taken a big nosedive. Just today, Tesla's stock price dropped by 15%. There are going to be some hangry shareholders there. That made it the worst day for the company in almost 5 years. Twitter also had a bad day, and that's saying something, folks, with massive outages that Musk blamed on a cyber attack that originated from Ukraine. Yes, sure. And increasingly, Americans are just fed up with this guy. Polls consistently show Musk's approval rating underwater. And apparently, even some in Trump's White House are fed up, too. In a meeting last week, Trump cabinet officials reportedly clashed with Musk over his approach in overhauling the federal government. And with all of this outrage surrounding Elon Musk coming from everywhere all at once, Democrats see an opportunity here. More and more, they're putting him in front and center in their messaging and, of course, in attack ads across the country.
Who's going to pay the price? Us. Our jobs lost. Our grocery prices up. Our housing unaffordable. Our benefits cut. Also, billionaires can reap the benefits.
Elon Musk is out of control. And now the power-hungry billionaire is unloading millions to buy the Wisconsin Supreme Court. He knows MAGA politician Brad Schimmel is for sale.
Faz, Simone, and Brendan are back with me at the table. So, Faz, here's the deal. I get it. I mean, in some sense, he's an easy target. Musk is. But I want to go back to where Simone was at the beginning of the last conversation, because we're kind of aligned in that space. I think if Democrats solely focus their ire on Musk, you miss the moment. You miss the mark in the moment. I think there should be a broader approach in your advertising. That's good, but that's not the end game. The end game is Donald Trump.
Yeah, and making Donald Trump own some of these decisions. Right now, of course, Musk is his heat shield in some ways. But it is also true that Elon Musk is spending money in these Wisconsin Supreme Court races. He is the one slashing Social Security offices all over the place. By the way, he stands to make $55 billion from Tesla, a company he's wrecking right now. $55 billion. I mean, before we had CEO pay packages of $100 million, that was obscene. Right. $55 billion. So, he is a huge figure in the Republican orbit right now. We shouldn't underlook that. But you're right that at the end of the day, Donald Trump, the buck stops with him. He's the one who's making these decisions. He's empowering him. And you sense now, increasingly in the press, there's more of a rift. Suggestions of Marco Rubio's upset, that Sean Duffy's upset at him. Even Donald Trump might have to, even Steve Bannon, of course, maybe the loudest, angry at him. I don't mind a little bit of the Civil War playing out.
All right. So on that front, Simone,
yes.
Elon was on TV today.
Oh, Lord. I saw it. I'm like, what is he whining about?
It was on Fox Business. So let's have a little listening on what Elon had to say over at Fox Business.
There's a massive amount of fraud of basically people submitting Social Security numbers for Social Security benefits, unemployment, Small Business Administration loans, and medical, where those are fake Social Security numbers, or they're stolen somebody else's Social Security number, and we're trying to put a stop to all of that. And that's the number which is estimated to be on the order of 10% of federal expenditures.
If it was that easy to sell a Social Security number, honey, there would be a black market.
Oh, and there'd be a black, blue, red, white, and blue market on this.
Pookie, Joe, Keisha, and Juan would all be getting rich.
Every last one of them would be rich.
It would be a multicultural grab bag.
I'd have an operation in the back behind me on the set.
No, you wouldn't, because you would be illegal, Michael Steele.
But that's the point. How does he know that when Doge has been on the ground doing this for how long? And doing it improperly and incorrectly?
They're not on the ground, Michael. They're at a spreadsheet at a computer.
Yes. This is true. They're at a spreadsheet at a computer.
But also Social Security, Congressional Research Service has told us this for many years. Undocumented people contribute into Social Security and don't receive benefits. In fact, Social Security reports a surplus every year from money coming in from undocumented. They are not. There's no waste fraud.
People who have died, who have Social Security, like my father, who died in 2017. My mother gets his benefits because she is his beneficiary on the paperwork. But when you have people who don't understand how the United States government works because they're freshly here and not keyed into what's going on inside the government. Elon Musk out of South Africa.
I say sincerely, I admire Elon Musk's ambition. But he is a person who just seemingly woke up one day and said he's going to do politics.
Yes. And he needs an advisor. He can stand to make a lot of money.
He acts like he's the first person who realized that there's fraud or waste in government. There are Inspector General reports and GAO reports this high that have outlined these things for years. And he's like, did you know this? Yes, all of us were aware of that. But there isn't like a button you press and it goes away. And so that's let's take this a little more seriously. Let's be a little more thoughtful about what we're doing. And so, on the substance, but then also on the politics, he's causing a huge problem for his boss.
So on that point, is there a point where he becomes more toxic than Donald Trump can stand?
Certainly. And I think Donald Trump actually has a pretty good political radar. Like, if he realizes that I'm losing more than I'm gaining from here, I think he'll cut him loose really quickly. I mean, he can't entirely cut him loose because he does depend on his money a lot for political reasons. But Musk is going through this in this like maximum pain, minimal gains, firing people, creating all this chaos. And the budget savings he's actually talking about this is tiny. He's not balancing the budget.
They haven't saved any money
They haven't saved any money.
Can I just make one point because I know you're about to go. So the point that you started with about why all the focus on Elon Musk.
Right.
And we always talk about kind of some of these similarities between what's happening now and Russia in 2000 when Putin first came to power. We don't know any of the oligarchs' names in Russia, but we know Putin. Right? And so the problem, I think, with continuing to elevate Elon Musk so much in the messaging is that you miss the forest for one tree. Elon Musk is not the goal. Republicans writ large, I don't understand why in the messaging, Democrats are not making Mike Johnson and Republicans in the House and Senate look like fools who are being pushed around by an unelected billionaire that woke up one day and just decided to do politics.
So
that's some of the stuff.
So back to you on the messaging piece and to what Brendan was saying, there are vulnerabilities there. Yes. How do you take advantage of them?
Let me remind everyone of Donald Trump, and I'm obviously not his biggest fans here. I watched him hundreds of events this cycle, and I promise you, as someone who watched a lot of those, he never talked about, put me in office, and I'm going to slash the hell out of this federal government. I am going to cut Medicaid to the bone. Put me in office, and it's going down. I'm bringing my arsonists. We're shutting down this federal government. Never made those claims. Never argued for them. Now, a lot of people feel hoodwinked and bamboozled. He, in fact, when Project 2025 laid this out in a blueprint, what did he do? We all remember.
He
said, not mine. Right. That is not my plan, and that's not my proposal. Well, it was a lie. It was a
okay, so we know that. We know that. So then what is the response to that?
They need to put the ads out, and I think Democrats have to be disciplined in their messaging. I will say they have been dogged on the Social Security front and more recently the Medicaid front. They've been very clear about that. I don't think voters wonder where they stand on that. I do think highlighting the stories of real people that are affected, that's going to make a difference and remind people, look, Social Security has never missed a payment in 80 years. And because of what this administration is doing, next month people might not get their checks.
All right. I got so much more that we could hit on this one. So much more.